So, how's it going, everyone? My name is Hirsch, and this is Money in Me podcast, the place where you get to see some of the most exciting interviews from the experts around the globe in the fields of crypto, DeFi, blockchain, NFTs, and Metaverse. And one such person is with me today. His name is Yannick, and he's the co-founder of SwissNFT. Before diving in this beautiful conversation with you, Yannick, I would like to know how are you doing and what are you up to recently?
Hello, yeah, hello guys, hello everyone. Yeah, I'm actually very good. I just woke up pretty early today to work on some projects and as well as Swiss NFTs, which is actually great. And it's sunny out here, so life is good, life is perfect. It's kind of cold, it's freezing. It's 3 degrees, but it's all good.
Good to
Celsius. Well,
okay,
Celsius,
yes.
not Fahrenheit. That's important to know.
Yeah, indeed. So that's good to know that
How are
you're doing
you? How
fine.
are you today?
I'm just doing great. I'm just doing great. Thanks for asking.
Perfect.
So
Yeah.
it's good to know that you're doing great. And now I'd like to dive into this conversation. So when I was like researching about you and Swiss NFT, it was quite evident for me that you are into technology and related stuff like blockchain recently. So it was still unclear for me, how did you actually enter into the world of blockchain? What made you come up with an idea like Swiss NFT? And was it something like you want to represent Switzerland in this revolution of DeFi? Or was it something like you found something that you can change? So I would like to know from you.
Yeah, sure. So it all started approximately, a couple years back when everything, all the blockchain, crypto, all these things came into like more mainstream. Let's put it that way. I have talked to a lot of friends. We started talking about crypto, and we started talking about all these things. And a couple of years back, I met Giovanna, also a co-founder of SwissNFTs, and she is doing her doctors at the moment at the university, and is an expert in blockchain. Therefore, so she's into that field. So we started really talking about the complete world, what's actually happening, what could be done, and also a lot of friends of mine, they came into that. So I had a lot of interesting conversation, and at one point I was like, yeah, well, there's not much, there's a lot going on into blockchain in Switzerland, that's for sure. I mean, like we got like crypto hubs like in Zug, Zurich, Bern, everything is like Geneva. It's like, it's really like something, the new technology is something that is really evolving, and it's something that is getting more and more attention, let's put it that way. And when we were talking, we were like, yeah, but there's nothing that really represents Switzerland as of NFTs. There's nothing that we can provide to artists in Switzerland. There's no basic hub of for artists. And what we then thought, like, let's we try to actually start a move is very, like, we try, our goal is really to try to make something that is for all the artists, and at the end of the day also for the consumer of NFTs in Switzerland and around the world, to actually provide them an environment that is reliable, that is trustworthy, and that in the long run is something that we can actually get something out of it, meaning that we can build an environment for artists, creator, content creator, game creator, whatever, in the future. And we will start very small at the beginning to really build up everything to actually have a product that is long lasting and not just dropping, getting the money and just leaving, because like a lot of people are doing like NFTs just to get like quick money. And our goal is really to build something in the long run for as I said 10 times now, artists. That's our main goal, to actually have a platform for that.
Yeah, yeah. Idea is quite commendable the way you say it. And And identifying that blockchain is now, on a saturation level. Now the innovation is in NFTs and Metaverse. That is also a commendable thing, because um, getting into a thing early is, difficult and advantage at the same time. And I would like to mention that as a startup, getting into something that is not really known is pretty difficult. And in general, for any startup, it is very difficult to get the startup to a good level, uh, to a point where it starts earning something. And it includes like day and nights, holidays that are meant for other people and not for you. So you need to work everything off. So yeah, I get your point. And yeah, so Swiss NFT is a commendable idea, and it is virtuous on the other hand also. Now, as the name suggests, Swiss NFT means NFTs for Swiss artists and the related fields. But I would like to know from you, are you planning to go global any soon?
I mean, the market is global. I mean, the NFT market is a global market that is accessible for everyone with a connection to the internet, basically. And so the global part for us is really to put Switzerland on the NFT map, to actually have Swiss product on the market, and then to have that accessible for everyone that may relate to Switzerland, went to holiday in Switzerland, wants to go to Switzerland, thinks Switzerland is cool, Switzerland is nice. And that's something that we are focusing on, and that we strongly believe that we are global the moment we connect to the internet. So the thing is, artist wise, we really try to stay in Switzerland, focused on in Switzerland for the moment. But I mean, you never know what the future is giving you, or what the future is bringing you. If there's artists around the world that are interested in doing something that is reliable to Switzerland, or has something to do with Switzerland, and I mean, at the end of the day, everyone can join. That's not, I mean, we are open for ideas from artists. We are open to the world. So that's something I can tell.
Well, that's nice, and that's going to be great for the community, and also from the point of commercialism or capitalism. I don't know if you believe strongly on capitalism and commercialism. I would like to know. So, do you?
Let's say personally, I will withhold the answer to that, but I strongly believe that we are living in, let's say we are living in a globalized world where capitalism is the root of many things on the internet. What I can say, or what I believe the company can do, or the company can achieve, is that in the world that we are living in the globalized world that we are living, that the NFT world, crypto world, and the metaverse, sure, it's like a capitalistic idea. I mean, it's but the goal for us in this capitalist idea is really to give something back to the artist, and then also work with the artist to actually really help the artist also become something. Because for a lot of people, art is still something that you hang up on the wall, and the artist is usually the artist, most of the artists are not getting rewarded while they are working. They are usually like the people that are, let's say, the ancestor, are usually having a profit of the art of someone. And the idea is here is really to have a profound understanding with the artist that we can help him commercialize his art if he's willing to. And this is something that capitalism is giving us. But we really try from a social perspective to give something to the artist, and that he can actually participate in this globalized world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get your point.
But for me personally, I'm very let's say, I will not say my beliefs because they are a little bit different than capitalism.
I think capitalism is not overrated. It is over degraded because at the end of the day, the goal of every human is to get retired, and capitalism provides us with such a way to get retired at the end of the day. So yeah, capitalism is good to a certain extent, until and unless it has no corruption involved. Because let's say every human on this earth, because it gets equipped with a skill to, let's say, create blockchain and hard wallets, and with that kind of knowledge, in 20 to 30 years or 40 years or 50 years, you can see earth in different ways, and that's all because of capitalism. Yeah. So
well, yeah, that's true, but I also believe that the future, what the future is giving us, is that we can actually involve in a more social construct with the all the technical aspects that we have with AI, etc., that we can actually place and use the, let's say, the capital that exists to make a more social environment. Because what I believe, sure, we are all working to not work, and that's the capitalist approach, is like, yeah, I'm working until I don't have to work to actually live in that world. But I believe that if we can create the world that people are doing what they love and they don't see as work, that we can actually have a better social construct and a better approach into communities, into social life, social interaction, and a better well-being of the human, if we can actually make people able to live with what they love to do.
Mhm. And that takes me to the quote, which is like proverb, which is money is the root of all evil. And two ways to like eradicate this is either delete money or give everyone enough money so that there isn't any evil left. But both of these like thoughts are on the different extremes of the line. So yeah.
Yeah, I like the idea of social basic income. So that's one thing that I can say, so people can create and can actually bring things forward. And that's something that I believe in, that it could actually make the world more livable.
Yeah, yeah, that's for sure. Now, capitalism takes me to the next question of this podcast, which is like Bitcoin is seen creating all-time highs recently, starting from October. What do you see as a reason of reaching these all-time highs and suddenly coming down?
I mean, we can start with capitalism and not I do believe that a lot of people are, since it's getting more and more mainstream, the complete crypto world is getting more and more, let's say, it's getting more and more mainstream. People who had no prior knowledge to it are gaining knowledge about it, want to be part of it, and they saw that a lot of people were able to actually make a fortune. Like they were able to really get money with that. And it's a similar approach to also the trading, as at the moment that it's easier for people to access something, they will get into something. And what I believe is Bitcoin and or a lot of different cryptos that are in the market at the moment, it's very similar to trading in shares, for example, that you believe in a product, you buy a product, and people are trying to make a profit with crypto. And that's my personal belief. At the moment, people are trying to make money, like real money, that they can actually buy something, provide to actually being something that has a value to buy a good or service. And I believe that a lot of people at the moment who are getting into it are really trying to get money out of it. And that's why there's the up and downs, and they don't see it as a currency to actually buy goods and services. That's why I believe that there's all-time highs, and then it's a drop because there's a lot of people like big fish that have the opportunity to cash out, get that money that they earned or that they gained, let's put it that way. And that's the drops. And then there's the uncertainty of the future. Then people, like small people, are also selling because a friend said that they should sell, or all these things. So similar to shares, if you believe in something, you keep it. If you don't believe in something, you sell. Or if you want to cash out, you sell.
I completely agree in that. I completely agree to you in that. And yeah, like you said, many of the big fishes are getting their fundings out of Bitcoin. The one thing that I noticed in Bybit exchange was many of the big fishes were taking their fundings out, and that like pulled cryptocurrency more like appropriately Bitcoin down. And I have one, a weird, I don't know if it's with me only, but still, I have this weird analogy that US dollar index DXY, if it increases, I have saw that Bitcoin increases, and if it increases, Bitcoin decreases. I don't know how does that work, but still, I have seen it in like trends.
Yeah. I mean, the recent drop might have a lot to do with what the US is proposing, or the US regulations are proposing. Some drops also with other countries that are trying to, let's say, not make a ban, but ban some things, try to interfere with the idea of the free, let's say, the decentralized and free opportunities. And there's countries that are trying to get something out of it, getting a profit out of it as well. And I mean, these are things, regulations that are coming in and regulating crypto, which might be something that in the future, can actually make it grow, but on the same time, it can just make it drop if there's a regulation that people are not willing to take.
And who would have thought like cryptocurrencies created years ago in 2013, starting with Bitcoin, and we're going to talk about it like this. It's going to bring so many problems with so many, ideas and advantages, opportunities for us. Now, that's hell lot of capitalism that we have talked about still now.
I mean, it is one of the most capitalistic system that exists. So
now I'd like to come back to SwissNFT. Now SwissNFT is currently focusing on artists in Switzerland or in neighboring areas, but I would like to know, are you thinking, or are you like planning, or are you working on something like coming up with an idea to getting NFTs, like an exchange for NFTs, rather than art, rather than just art?
So we will actually launch our Generation Zero very soon. So we've been working with 3 artists in the past weeks and months, and we will actually release our first Generation Zero. It's going to be something that has to do with sites in Switzerland. I might be able to show you some well, I will send you some previews so you can actually have a kind look at it, a quick look at it. But that's what we are planning to do. We will plan to actually release them on a marketplace, first of all, to actually start, because our goal is really to build something sustainable. Simultaneously, we are working with people we know that are creating a marketplace at the moment. So we are very in a very close relation with them, because our main goal, as we said, is to generate a platform for artists, and just dropping a marketplace without a sustainable idea doesn't really make sense in a long run. So our goal is really to first focus on generation zero, besides really working on the marketplace to actually have the resources for a sustainable future. We're gonna start now.
Mhm. So that's a nice approach, and I would love to view those previews that you're going to send us. So yeah, NFTs have great potential, and therefore there can be like numerous use cases with them, just let alone art. So one such use case that we can see is coming in is like, hopefully we would see in Metaverse. Like currently NFT represent digital ownership of a physical assets. Like it is showing us an on-chain asset which is representing an off-chain asset. So, but Metaverse brings us with a slightly different problem. Now we need something that can represent something digitally. So, can we do it with current NFTs, or we can see a new use case of NFTs, or we need to come up with new approach?
An idea we had, or we talked about a lot in the recent weeks, is to bring, Metaverse is something that is gonna come up. Is like we knew it from Sims. Before, when we were playing Sims, we were creating our life we tried to expect. We had Second Life a couple years back. Like, I don't know if you remember when Second Life came up, and then you were walking around on a 3D area to like trying to represent yourself. And something that is actually coming up, or makes a lot of and want to be part of it. What's very interesting is that if you take it as, oh yes, Second Life, for example, there's so many things that you can actually do in the NFT world. One thing that I always came up, I love playing FIFA on PlayStation. I'm a big FIFA player, and I buy these players, but the players are not mine. I can use them. So basically, I rent the player. It's not my player. I don't gain anything out of it. I have to play with that player. It's not something that I don't own the player. And one thing that is very interesting in the metaverse part is really the part that we can actually buy something and reuse it. For example, you have an image, you have a sound, you have a 3D object that you can somehow use. We don't know all the use cases that actually exist at the moment that the future is going to bring. We can build games, we can build so many things in it that the future, like the opportunities on it, are unheard of. And if I think about SwissNFTs and our first generation, if you own one of our images, first of all, we're gonna do images. You can hang it in your you have in this metaverse. If you have a huge billboard, you could actually put it on that billboard. Some people, the Fortnite idea, for example, to really put some NFTs in it to actually generate something. All these things are coming up. So it's limitless. And the problem of limitless is that you can do a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, that's really what I'm really worried about. The security risk that are coming up with metaverse. Like I was reading about Neuralink the other day, the startup that Elon Musk purchased, which is on a mission to I hope you know about it. And do you?
Yeah, well, I have brief knowledge of it. I mean, I might not be as deep as you are, but I have brief knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was reading about it the other day, and the security risk that it escalates with metaverse are like boundless. Like if you're going into metaverse and Neuralink is integrated in that metaverse, then if a hacker possibly hacks it, then he's like virtually hacking you and affecting you
Yeah.
physically in some way or other, because that
Yeah.
chip would be integrated in your mind. So
Exactly.
yeah,
I mean, that's something. I mean, the idea is that, I mean, the things that Elon Musk is bringing forward, I mean, it's out of this world at the moment. Let's put it that way. But it's something that is or will be possible in the future, and and that's always a risk. And hacking is basically impossible, and etc etc. But the thing is, wasn't it impossible to hack a computer before they hacked it the first time?
yeah,
So I mean, if the moment one day we're gonna, if one day we're gonna get quantum computing and it's calculating like that, I mean, there's nothing as fast as that.
yeah,
So who knows what it brings, but at the same time it gives a lot of opportunities for the future. So I don't know, if you're all part and we all have this chip in it, what will be the thing? So are we trying to manipulate people as we are doing it right now with talking to someone? Like we can also, today you can manipulate someone in a psychological way if you know how to manipulate someone. So I mean, it's just changing the way on how to manipulate, but is that really something that's going to happen? There's going to be evil people everywhere. So I hope it's not. I hope it's secure, but you never know what the future brings.
yeah. That's my only concern with metaverse right now: the security risk and the other thing that we are going to talk about just in seconds. But
Sure.
the security risks are just pretty much um, you know risky for even the nations and the people too, because everyone was like blockchain couldn't be compromised, but in this year only it has been compromised multiple times. So it just opens up the space for the compromisability of the most highly trusted technology out there. So when we are going into metaverse, there is a sort of doubt: will I be safe there? Really? Am I eating this that they're feeding me?
Yeah, I mean that's something that is a concern, and there's different. Let's say there's going to be different metaverses. I don't think that's they try, like some might try to interconnect things, some might try to not interconnected. So I don't know how that's gonna end, how that's gonna be.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. But still, like the monopoly of Facebook over social media, there can be a monopoly of a single metaverse. Like, take an example, maybe Meta would rule the metaverse, something like that. Then it could like it's a with Facebook's history of leaking data and all,
I
it
mean,
makes
I
it all,
mean, yeah, but if you have a monopoly on it and then you create, the thing is, one of my biggest concern is that people are gonna escape in these metaverses and then these meta worlds to actually escape reality, and that's something that I'm afraid of, and I really hope that this is not what we then try to do, because we are still human beings that live on the planet Earth, and that we should keep actually the world as sustainable as possible, and to actually also take the environment that we live in into consideration, that we don't destroy what we have. So yeah.
So I'm understanding what you're saying, and metaverse also disconnects us from reality, as you said. But I also think that's the unique selling point of metaverse, because it attracts that psychology of people like me and you. Like, we're interested that we can go somewhere if you're like depressed, if you maybe it could help people with depression in some way, because like you said, they have an escape now. They can have a world built for them. They can build it however they want. So it's good in that way, but still it's cutting from the real life challenges from the physical world. That's the ultimate reality. And at some point of time, that's going to become a habit of people to escape from physical to digital, and losing the time that is the real time that's passing on in the reality. Even though you are young in the metaverse, you might be 30-year-old or 40-year-old. Yeah. So that's,
the metaverse is something that it will, how do you say, it's limitless.
it's really
so
meta.
It's meta, exactly. So let's see what's going on. Let's see what's gonna happen.
One sec.
I think we have to wrap up soon.
Yeah. So this was nice meeting you, and
It was nice.
I really want to talk more, but still,
we can talk more on another day, another time.
Yeah, sure. That was, a really insightful talk, as much as we have talked, even though there were more interesting topics following it. So yeah, it was really nice meeting you, and I would like to end this session as fast as possible. So yeah, it was really nice meeting you, and I hope all of the viewers have enjoyed this podcast as much as me and Yannick did. So please don't forget to like and subscribe the TheCoinRepublic, and I will be here with the next video, same like that, over crypto, DeFi, and blockchain. Stay tuned. Okay.
Thank you very much.